What happens when entire civilizations vanish, leaving behind only stone, silence, and questions we still can't answer? Imagine cities swallowed by jungles, temples carved into mountains, and empires erased by time itself. These are places where history feels alive, and yet strangely absent. Today we search for civilizations that maps forgot, societies that once thrived, but now whisper their secrets through ruins, myths, and unanswered questions. This is Maps Lie, the series that uncovers places erased, censored, or forgotten by maps, yet alive with mystery and reality. Each episode invites you to question, what do our maps really show us, and what do they hide? In this episode, The Lost Civilizations, we journey back into time to explore empires and cultures that rose to greatness, only to fall into silence. Civilizations that mastered engineering, astronomy, trade, and art, but left behind more questions than answers. Victims of climate, conquest, or their own ambition. Did their stories vanish because nature consumed them, or because history chose to forget? The ruins they left behind don't just mark what was built, they mark what was lost. Let's uncover their stories. Machu Picchu, Peru. High in the Andes Mountains, where clouds cling to stone terraces, stands a city once hidden from the world. Machu Picchu, the legendary citadel of the Inca, rises nearly 8,000 feet above sea level. Built in the 15th century, it remained invisible to outsiders for centuries, its stone walls swallowed by forest and mist. When American explorer Hiram Bingham revealed it to the wider world in 1911, it became a symbol of mystery and resilience. The Incas engineered an impossible city. Terraces carved into cliffs transformed sheer mountainsides into farmland. Aqueducts carried water through stone channels. Massive blocks, cut and fitted without mortar, locked together so tightly they still withstand earthquakes today. Everything was built in harmony with the mountain, not against it. And yet, Machu Picchu was abandoned. Scholars debate why. Perhaps smallpox carried by European invaders, or wars that forced the Incas to retreat. Others believe it was deliberately hidden, a sanctuary left behind as the empire collapsed. Today, Machu Picchu draws millions of visitors, but its silence is as powerful as its beauty. The stones tell us what the Incas built, but not why they left. Teotihuacan, Mexico. Imagine walking an avenue so wide, it feels built for gods, not men. Welcome to Teotihuacan, the city of the gods. At its peak, Teotihuacan was home to over 100,000 people, one of the largest cities of the ancient world. Its pyramids still dominate the Valley of Mexico, the Pyramid of the Sun, the Pyramid of the Moon, and the Avenue of the Dead connecting them in perfect alignment. Yet the greatest mystery is this: we don't know who built it. By the time the Aztecs arrived, centuries later, its founders were long gone. The Aztecs gave it the name Teotihuacan, believing it was where gods once walked the earth. Why did it collapse? Archaeology reveals fire and signs of sudden abandonment. Perhaps famine, drought, or civil unrest fractured its immense population. Its rulers left no written record, only stone. Today, walking through Teotihuacan feels like stepping into the shadow of giants. The stones endure, but the voices of their builders remain missing. The Indus Valley Civilization, Pakistan and India. Beneath the dust of deserts and dried riverbeds lies one of humanity's greatest forgotten empires. More than 4,000 years ago, The Indus Valley Civilization thrived across present-day Pakistan and India. Its cities, Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, and dozens more, were marvels of urban planning. Streets were laid in precise grids, homes had private baths, and advanced drainage systems carried waste away. They developed uniform weights and measures, standardized bricks, and vast trade networks. And yet, their script remains undeciphered. We do not know their kings, their gods, or their stories. Without words, we are left with only structures. By 1900 BCE, the civilization had vanished. Perhaps climate change shifted the rivers, starving farmland. Perhaps invasions shattered its balance. Whatever the cause, its cities emptied. Today, the ruins appear modest compared to Egypt's pyramids or Mesopotamia's ziggurats. But their silence is louder. The Indus Valley shows that greatness does not always leave monuments towering above. Sometimes it leaves order buried in dust. Easter Island, Rapa Nui, Chile. Far in the Pacific Ocean, stone giants stare eternally at the horizon, their expressions unreadable. Easter Island, or Rapa Nui, is famous for the Moai statues, enormous stone figures, some nearly 30 feet tall, carved from volcanic rock. Created by Polynesian settlers, these statues represented ancestors and deities, their gaze watching over the island and its people. But building the Moai demanded enormous resources. Trees were cut down to move the statues, land was stripped to feed the population. In time, deforestation and soil depletion pushed society into decline. When Europeans arrived in the 18th century, Rapa Nui's thriving culture was already fractured and fragile. The Moai remain as both triumph and tragedy. They embody ambition, artistry, and devotion, but also overreach. They remind us that civilizations can collapse not only from outside invasion, but from exhausting the very land that sustains them. Today, the statues endure, silent guardians of a people nearly erased, staring forever at a horizon that no longer answers. The Maya civilization, Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras. Deep in Central American jungles, temples rise like mountains reclaimed by trees. The Maya were masters of time. They charted the heavens, predicted eclipses, and developed one of the most accurate calendars in history. They built cities like Tikal and Palenque with soaring temples, intricate carvings, and palaces aligned with celestial events. They developed a writing system, recorded history, and flourished in mathematics and astronomy. Yet by the 9th century, many Maya cities were abandoned. Scholars point to drought, overpopulation, or warfare between rival city-states. Whatever the cause, the jungle consumed their stone monuments. Even today, new Maya ruins are being uncovered, hidden beneath forests for centuries. Each discovery reveals how much of their story is still buried. The Maya show us that brilliance is not permanent. Civilizations, no matter how advanced, remain vulnerable to nature and time. Angkor, Cambodia, where the jungle meets the stone. The ruins of Angkor stretch endlessly across Cambodia. Angkor was the heart of the Khmer Empire from the 9th to the 15th century. Its centerpiece, Angkor Wat, remains the largest religious monument in the world, built with exquisite carvings and towers rising like lotus buds above the forest. The empire engineered vast reservoirs and canals that turned the land into a rice-producing powerhouse. At its peak, Angkor was home to nearly 1 million people, one of the largest cities on Earth at the time. Yet by the 15th century, it had collapsed. Scholars cite prolonged droughts, overpopulation, and wars with neighboring kingdoms as causes. The jungle reclaimed its temples, covering them with roots and vines until explorers stumbled upon them centuries later. Today, Angkor is celebrated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, but its empty corridors still whisper of grandeur lost. Angkor shows us how even monumental beauty can vanish beneath nature's grip. Petra, Jordan, carved into rose-red cliffs. Petra looks like a city built for gods, once the capital of the Nabatean kingdom. Petra flourished as a trading hub in the desert of modern-day Jordan. Its people carved temples, tombs, and theaters directly into the rock, blending artistry with engineering. The iconic treasury, with its intricate facade, remains one of the most recognizable monuments in the world. Petra thrived thanks to its control of caravan routes linking Arabia, Egypt, and the Mediterranean. But shifting trade, Roman conquest, and devastating earthquakes weakened it. By the Middle Ages, Petra had fallen silent. For centuries, it was known only to local Bedouins, until Western explorers rediscovered it in the 19th century. Today, Petra is a wonder of the world, but it is also a ghost city. Its grandeur intact, but its people gone. Göbekli Tepe, Turkey, on a hill in southeastern Turkey, lies a site older than Stonehenge, older than the pyramids, a mystery that rewrites human history. Göbekli Tepe, built around 9600 BC, is the world's oldest known temple complex. Massive T-shaped pillars carved with animals and symbols rise from circular enclosures, suggesting a ritual center for hunter-gatherers before the dawn of agriculture. Its construction challenges everything we thought we knew. How could people with no metal tools or domesticated animals move and shape stones weighing tons? Why was it buried deliberately around 8000 BC? Göbekli Tepe reveals that religion and community may have sparked civilization itself, yet its builders remain unknown, their language lost. Standing among the pillars, you feel both awe and humility, proof that the roots of civilization stretch back further and deeper than maps or history ever suggested. Mesa Verde, cliff dwellings, USA. In the high plateaus of Colorado, deep alcoves in sandstone cliffs shelter the remarkable dwellings of the ancestral Puebloan people. Between the 12th and 13th centuries, they built multi-story stone villages like Cliff Palace. Protected beneath overhanging cliffs, they farmed the mesa tops, stored food in cool stone rooms, and created a vibrant society adapted to the challenging environment. But by the late 1200s, a period of severe drought and perhaps conflict led the Puebloans to migrate south, leaving the cliff dwellings empty. When explorers and ranchers first saw these hidden cities in the 19th century, they seemed like a lost world tucked beneath the desert mesas. Today, Mesa Verde stands as proof that entire cultures can thrive, then vanish, leaving their homes as silent witnesses. From the cloud city of Machu Picchu to the jungle temples of Angkor, from Petra's rose-red cliffs to the pillars of Göbekli Tepe, these civilizations remind us that even the greatest societies can vanish. Maps show us the present, but history reveals what has been lost and what may still lie hidden beneath the earth. Why did they collapse? Climate, conquest, or their own ambition? The truth remains elusive, but one thing is certain. The ruins they left behind are not just stones, they are warnings, reminders that no civilization is permanent. Which of these civilizations fascinates you most? Could our own society face the same fate one day? Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another journey into the mysteries that Maps Lie uncovers. This is Maps Lie, uncovering the forgotten, the hidden, and the lost. But our journey doesn't end here. In our next episode, Maps Lie, the village that doesn't exist, we step into ghost towns and forgotten settlements, places that once thrived with life, only to be abandoned, erased, or left in silence. From villages frozen by tragedy to towns swallowed by nature, we'll uncover the haunting stories of communities that disappeared, as if they had never been on the map at all.